Hey, what's up guys, Rev here. So in this video, we're going to cover a couple of different topics, but the main focus and the first topic is going to be on Hololive's Pekora. Now, she has accomplished something quite impressive. So based on data from the first quarter of 2023, Hololive's Pekora is the most watched female streamer in terms of hours watched. That is a very impressive metric. Now, don't let that distract you from the fact that she owns a monkey. But yes, Pekora has made a very big accomplishment here. And, good on Dexerto for this time, making sure they got the right picture of Pekora, because I will not forget this post they made only a few months ago where they used this picture for Pekora when talking about streaming stats from 2022. But glad to see them get it right this time. Give credit where credit is due. But this list is impressive for two reasons, right? So number one, Pekora. Most watch hours is a very impressive statistic because not only does it say that you get high viewership, but it also means you're grinding. You're getting a lot of streaming time in. Because there's a lot of streamers like Gargura, for example. And this is no shot at her, but she only streams once every couple weeks. And she obviously has other projects going on, but when you do that, it doesn't lead to a lot of watch hours. So she has very high viewership, but not as much watch hours as someone else who gets both high viewer count and streams a lot, like Pekora. She gets the high viewer count and produces a lot of streaming content. So that's why that hours watched is impressive for multiple reasons. But also this list itself, I know it's a little small, but in this top 10 list, 6 of the female streamers are from Hololive. It is a Hololive sweep with Pekora at the top. And it's very impressive. And it just goes to show you how far VTubers have come. And they are dominating this category of female streamers. But of course, with a lot of praise for this post and Pekora's accomplishment, there was also a lot of ignorance and annoying comments, which we're going to point and laugh at now. So there was a lot of comments similar to this where they were trying to diminish this accomplishment by saying who? Oh, never heard of her. Or in this case, she's a cartoon. Well, yes, her model is a fictional character, but there is a real person behind it. And it's strange that you don't understand how that works, right? And people make these comments, why do you think? Well, it's to diminish her accomplishment, to make it, oh, she's just a cartoon. It's an insult, obviously. And as someone who in their bio calls themselves a social media influencer, to not know what a VTuber is shows just how bad you are at your supposed job. So that's just one of many. This whole identity of who is behind this VTuber is, of course, a jab a lot of people are using. Of course, here I am, a deep-voiced man sitting behind this cute anime girl. I know I've probably validated a lot of these crazies, but you get comments like this all over the place on these posts saying, they watching a grown man pretending to be a female anime kid. That is a dreadful sentence. But basically, they're saying that Pekora is just a man. This is stuff you would hear from the beginning of VTubers, and it's, I guess, unsurprising it's still continuing in 2023. But yeah, this whole fantasy these people have of men being behind all these anime girls is one that I can confirm. I hope I'm not confusing a viewer like this, but it's one used to once again take jabs at these popular female creators, and it's just weird. And also the female anime kid. This is not an anime kid. That's a very strange comment. And once again, a little bit of projection on their behalf. But here's another one saying, and they do this when done streaming. First of all, please learn to spell. And of course, they're posting this husky man over here. And, I'm starting to think at this point, this is a sort of fetish for these people. They have this fantasy that they're playing out, and I don't like being subjected to this, and it's a little bit strange, but okay. The good news is they got absolutely roasted in the replies down here, and of course the getting mocked and dunked on, but thanks for the engagement. Yeah, who are you? Did you anime nerds get triggered? Like, we know this is the guy getting his head dunked in toilets at school. Like, please, be for real, dude. Like, this is the stuff you're posting online, the little fantasies in your head. I don't have good hopes for how you're doing in real life. But we move on. We have a fitness guru here saying the dudes watching her. The 6 paths of down, cataclysmic, catastrophic, terrible, bad, horrible, horrendous. You know what is down, horrendous? Caring what people do online, right? If you actually are triggered by the fact that people are just watching a VTuber in their free time, you're pretty sensitive. And for a guy who, like another one in his bio saying, helping creative minds build their body and mind. Yeah, you're not really building people's minds when you're trying to tear them down for what they're doing in their free time. And I'm sorry you're so riddled with jealousy that this VTuber is achieving every dream that you have no shot of ever achieving. But it doesn't excuse being rude for absolutely no reason. And, you can see 1,500 likes on this. It's some pretty pathetic stuff. Like, just, I don't know. Mind your own business, Work on your minds, this guy says. So, well, how about you mind your own business? It's not that deep. People like to be entertained. Pekora is very entertaining. Sorry you haven't figured out how to mirror that success and stay mad about it. So here's another lovely quote retweet saying, imagine if I swung an ice pick full force through its face. Well, I would imagine that's a crime, and that's a very strange thing to say, but I guess that's kind of the environment we're working on, where people just mind their own business and have success as a VTuber. I guess that gets them these creepy threats, but we all know someone like this doesn't have the nerve to do anything like this in real life, and they're probably scared shitless of their own shadow, so I'm not too worried about that. But here's the funny thing that came out of all of this. Pekora's account, shortly after this announcement, was temporarily restricted, meaning that there was a sensitivity label placed on the account where you have to literally click yes and opt into viewing their profile because there's something dangerous going on with their account. That is, it's something suspicious is going on. So, like I said, vast majority is a supportive reaction to her achievement. But yes, there were people who were very mad, including simps of other female streamers who were below other VTubers in the list. That's just a reality. And I think it's zero coincidence that her account, which is completely safe, right? Like, there's nothing edgy or dangerous or suspicious on Pekora's account. For it to suddenly get restricted like that shortly after, not a coincidence, but it has been restored, and that is the good news for now. And once again, congratulations to Pekora and the other Hololive members for making their way onto that list. It is a very impressive accomplishment, to say the least. Now, speaking of some other impressive accomplishments, this is a post that people are really going crazy over. So it says, AI animation has just started. It moves so cute. The stability of the conversion has increased considerably. If the learning accuracy continues to rise, it will be practical. So I'm going to play this clip in a second, but let me just give you an idea of how much people are reacting to this use of AI. So this post has nearly 20 million views, over 100,000 likes, almost 5,000 quote retweets. People are like very interested in this clip here, so I'm going to play it just for a few seconds for you to get the idea. It is AI using a real-life woman dancing to mimic her movements. And a lot of people are looking at this and are like, whoa, it's over. 3D women are done, finished, finito. Well, here's my thing. I'm going to pause. I don't know how AI and copyright works, but I don't want to get too deep. But here's the thing. If you think this is the end, you're exaggerating, okay? I think people are being a little dramatic with this whole post. It is very impressive, don't get me wrong, but this is not signaling the end of 3D, real women in content spaces. This is not like the two-dimensional takeover, right? But it is impressive. And some people, I'll play it just like a second, how the frames kind of like mold and melt in the background. Some people they say that's like unwatchable. It makes it look goofy. I don't know. I think it looks kind of unique. And I'll be totally honest. I think this use of AI is like mesmerizing. I think it's like super cool looking. And I actually like the fact that it's a little clunky, because if it's going to be perfectly mimicking the real life example that it's sampling from, like, what's the point of it? You know what I mean? I like the fact that it looks a little cartoonish, and it will hammer out, and it's come a long way. I mean, if you freeze frame on certain parts, there's clear errors with different parts of the design. You'll see like random little errors and things that just don't look right, like in terms of the anatomy and things like that. But for AI to come this far, this fast, it does tell you that I think things are going to keep going very quickly, and I'm not quite sure where we're going to end with this, but I thought this was just a very interesting, and a lot of people reacting to this, and you know, the possibilities of what you could do with AI mimicking real people doing things is it's got some real possibility, if you know what I'm saying, and I'm all for it, and you should be too. Now, some completely unrelated news, but I thought it was worth a mention. This is a story we talked about roughly 2 months ago, where the former voice actor of the character Tighnari from Genshin Impact, was exposed as a groomer and a complete predator and freak, preying on literally dozens of underage kids online. All sorts of terrible, disgusting behavior. He was exposed in 8K. It is something I talked about in my previous videos. I mean, dozens of accounts from victims exposing him for being this terrible predator, right? And he was shortly after released by Genshin and MiHoYo. And finally, after all this time, the character Tighnari has received a new voice actor for the English side, this time Zachary Gordon. And honestly, I thought this was just kind of a nice little bow on everything, you know? Like, we've known about Elliot being fired for a long time, but it was nice to see the actual replacement come in. And yeah, kind of marks the end of a very dark chapter for the fandom and really just the voice acting scene. Like, there's a lot of flack about voice actors, but you know, when it comes to Elliot Gindi, he was a true monster and a terrible person, and it is something that hopefully everyone can move on from. And you know, I'm sure seeing this new voice actor come in was refreshing for not only the fan base of Genshin, but also the victims impacted, to add a bit of closure to this. And hopefully, my God, hopefully, Elliot Gindi sees some real life consequences for what he's done. And I know it's difficult and complicated when you're dealing with internet stuff, but I hope something comes out of it soon. So instead of ending on that somewhat dark note, we're going to end with a little bit of a change in internet history that a lot of people are talking about. So if you've ever seen, I'm sure at some point you've seen the Lofi Girl stream, right? It's the never-ending stream playing Lo-Fi with the Lofi Girl sitting at her desk studying. You know, rumor has it she's never going to pass that test. But they announced, the Lofi Girl account announced that there was a new exciting venture for their channel, and they introduced a brand new character to their little lo-fi cinematic universe, bringing a new genre of synthwave beats to chill and game to, featuring this new character. Now, reaction to this has been largely supportive, but I think it's been very strange. People, like, the way misinformation spreads so quickly is kind of, well, not surprising. But people are making jokes that, like, the Lo-Fi Girl has transitioned into a boy, and that they've replaced the Lo-Fi Girl, the original, and that's gone, and this is the new direction of the channel, and Lo-Fi is now dead. Except for the fact that none of that's true. In fact, there's a lot of different little Easter eggs throughout both of these characters, indicating that they're two separate people, in fact, that they live across from each other based on the lights of these various rooms in the background. But both of those characters still exist. The Lo-Fi Girl exists. This new one exists. You can watch both of them. There's nothing new. But I've always enjoyed the Lo-Fi Girl. I enjoy Lo-Fi. It's not like as popular as it used to be. It's still very popular, but it's not what it was a couple years ago. And I don't perhaps listen to it as much as I used to, but I do always enjoy Lo-Fi because I like playing it on my stream. It is the ultimate way to get around copyright, and it's something that is very good for a lot of people who want some entertaining background music. But that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I know it was a lot of topics, so please share all of your thoughts in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys next time.